In this video, we are going to study about amalgamation of companies, right? What amalgamation of companies are, and what are the different types of amalgamation of companies. So we'll study all the rules also regarding amalgamation of companies. So what is the meaning and definition of amalgamation? Amalgamation is a union of two or more companies made with an intention to form a new company, right? When two or more companies made with an intention to form a new company, that particular thing we call it as amalgamation. You will set up, you will form two companies, then after that your intention is to form one more new company. Such thing is called as amalgamation. The term amalgamation means taking over of the business of two or more companies by a company newly formed for the purpose. For this purpose, the companies whose business are taken over are wound up, right? Like there are two companies already existing in the market, A and B companies. Now one new company they are going to start, right? Will come in the market, that is company C. So company C is going to take all the assets and liabilities of company A and B. By this, what will happen? A new company will come into existence in power in market, that is company C, and the value and identity of the company A and B, they will lose their value, identity, everything, and they will wind up. They will close down. So such term is called as amalgamation of companies. So in terms of finance, the definition of amalgamation can be given as: amalgamation is an agreement between two or more companies to consolidate their business activities by establishing a new company having a separate legal existence. Okay, so what we are doing is that we are making an agreement, right? This agreement is not done by any individual parties. It is done by two or more companies. Why they are doing? They are doing to consolidate their strength, their business activities, by expanding a new company, by starting a new company and having a separate legal existence. So that C company, whichever company has newly started, it will have their own separate legal existence. The both companies, old companies, will lose their existence, will lose their identity, right? So there are various again definitions in amalgamation. Means amalgamation pursuant to the provision of Indian Companies Act 1956 or any other statute which may be applicable to the companies. It has to follow the things which are mentioned as per Companies Act 1956. Transferor company means the company which is amalgamated into another company. With the company which has been um, like amalgamated into other company or merged into other company, like A and B company. These are amalgamated transferor company. Now transferee company means the company into which a transfer company is amalgamated. Like I told, C company, that was a newly startup company, or that company started and they amalgamated two company A and B. So C company is the transferee company. In that company, two companies are being amalgamated. So reserve means the portion of earnings, receipt, or the other surplus of an enterprise appropriated by a management of for a general or a specific purpose, other than a provision for a depreciation or diminution in the value of asset for or for unknown liability. So there is also a kind of reserve, because see, whenever they are going to merge, whenever they are going to amalgamate, their profit, their balance surplus is remaining. So that has to be appropriated by the management before going for amalgamation. The management of A company, the management of B company should do a portion of that reserve first, and then later on they can go for the amalgamation. Okay, these are some definition or important points. The first case or type of the merger is amalgamation in the nature of merger. Okay, amalgamation in the nature of merger, and amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Okay, so amalgamation in the nature of purchase is an amalgamation which does not satisfy any one or more of the conditions specified under the nature of merger. Okay, so amalgamation in the nature of merger which satisfies the condition and which looks like a merger. While in nature of merger purchase, it does not satisfies the condition like the nature of merger. The what are the consideration for the amalgamation means the aggregate of the share and other securities issued and the payment made in the form of cash other than assets by the transferee company to shareholders of the transferor company. So here their shares, whatever shares are there, there has to be transferred for a consideration. Consideration is very important. Either you can give in the form of cash, you can give in the form of securities, you can give in form of partly in cash, partly in securities. So it depends. Okay, so consideration is must ensure, and then fair value is very important. The amount what you are transferring of your assets could be exchanged from one company to other company, but for that you need to calculate fair market value. Okay, the people they might not ready to sell their company, amalgamate their company by the book value. You need to calculate the fair market value. That is very very important thing. So the types of merger we were discussing, that is first is amalgamation in the nature of merger. So what do you mean by this? Under this type of amalgamation, where is a genuine pooling, not a merely of assets and liabilities of amalgamation companies, but also of the shareholders' interest and of the business of these companies. So this type of merger does not just focus on like we will just transfer our assets and liabilities. A company and B company, they are going to transfer their assets and liabilities. Our work is done. So only they will not focus about this. They will also think about the shareholders' interest. They will take into consideration about the interest of the shareholders. So that means this kind of a merger is a merger in detail. Okay, then second type of amalgamation is amalgamation in the nature of purchase. Okay, amalgamation in the nature of purchase. So what is the amalgamation in the nature of purchase? It is a mode by which one company acquires another company, and as a consequence, the shareholders of the company which is acquired normally do not continue to have a proportionate share in the equity of the combined company of or the business of the company which is acquired is not intended to be continued. See, in amalgamation of the nature of merger, the old company shareholder can be continued in the new company. They have option for it. Okay, they have option. Whenever a company is being merged, like the old shareholders of the old company, they can continue as a shareholders in the new company after amalgamation. But here there is not no such options. The old company shareholders like A company and B company shareholders, once it is it has been amalgamated with C company has taken both the companies. The shareholders of A company and B company will not continue to be a shareholders now, because already this has been purchased. And when something is purchased, A company and B company cannot ask anything, and their shareholder will also not be liable to get any kind of dividend in future. So what they are going to get? They are going to get cash for their shares. Whatever cash or whatever money is there, that they are going to get. So that is the main difference in merger and purchase. So method of accounting for amalgamation, what kind of method we need to require for recording the accounting of amalgamation? The first type is the pooling of interest method. So under this pooling of interest method, the assets, liabilities, and reserve of the transferor company are recorded by the transferee company at their existing carrying amount. Okay, so the transferor company, the assets and liabilities of the transferor company, A and B's company, will be recorded by the transferee company. C company, when they are recording in their books of accounts, when amalgamation happens, when they are recording in their books of account, so what they do is they will record as per the existing carrying amount. So just they will take the values, closing value of all the assets, right, by 31st of March of that year, and then in their books, like they are starting from 1st of April. So whatever they are doing, just they will copy from here and then they will paste in their books of accounts. So such thing is called as pooling of interest, right? From their existing carrying amounts, will be taken directly in the books of accounts of the transferee company or C company. This is pooling of interest. Next is purchase method. Here, under this purchase method, the transferee company accounts for the amalgamation either by incorporating the assets and liabilities at their existing carrying amount, or by allocating the consideration to the individual identifiable assets and liabilities of the transferor company on the basis of their fair value at the date of amalgamation. So in purchase method, either a company can go with the same thing, like carrying an existing amount of the transferee company, transferor company in the books of transferee company, or else what they can do is that they can allocate, right? They can allocate the consideration of individual identifiable assets, right? They will themselves, they will allocate, like land is there, how much value should be given to the land. They will try to calculate. Suppose in transferor company, the value of the land was 50 crores, but you will go and you will check it, that how much should be the value, right? And then you identify those assets, valuation will be done, which is again a lengthy procedure. And after doing a valuation, you will find out the current value, and then you will put a value of that assets in your books of accounts. Similarly, machines are there. Similarly, all the assets are there. Liabilities are there. So individually, you will value as per, you will identify that and you will put a value. So that is also called as a purchase method. So what are the disclosure of accounting as per accounting standard 14? Okay, so accounting standard 14, it says about accounting for amalgamation. And for all amalgamation, the following disclosure should be made in the first financial statement following the amalgamation, right? In their financial statement, first financial statement, like when they got amalgamated, let us see that they amalgamated this year, right? Now their financial statement will complete on 31st. When in that year, when they are submitting it, these all financial statements, it should include like name, general nature of the business of the amalgamating companies, then effective date of amalgamation for accounting purpose, the method of accounting used to reflect the amalgamation, particulars of the scheme sanctioned under a statute. For amalgamation accounts for under the pooling of interest method, the following addition disclosure should be made in the first financial statement. If you follow like other method, right there, in if you don't follow pooling of interest method, that first 4 points are enough. But if you follow pooling of interest method, this additional 2 point has to be made, disclosed. That is, description and number of shares to be issued together with the interest of each company's equity share exchange to effect the amalgamation. So how much shares we are exchanging between like transfer company and transferee company, between their shareholders, those all things should be disclosed in detail, because this is pooling of interest method. Similarly, the amount of any difference between consideration and the value of net identifiable asset acquired and the treatment thereof. So how much value consideration they were paying, and how much value you identified that actually that has to be paid to the transferor company, and what is the net difference you are finding out. So even that has to be disclosed in the financial statements. For the amalgamation accounted for under the purchase method, the following addition disclosure should be made. Okay, if anybody goes for the purchase method, this disclosure addition should be made. Consideration for the amalgamation and description of the consideration paid, right? Or contingently payable. Like if you are doing a purchase method, that means directly you're paying all the consideration, either in form of cash or in form of some other benefits you're paying. In that case, what happens? How much consideration you're paying, right? That all description about the consideration paid should be made in the first financial statement of the amalgamated company. Similarly, the amount of any difference, right? If there was a difference again, by this method, if it is showing you that in the consideration of the value as well as in the net assets, identifiable assets, and the treatment of there. So if you find any like difference, how it was treated, and the treatment of various things like amortization or of any goodwill arising from amalgamation, right? If there was like increase in the goodwill due to amalgamation, how you treated that goodwill, those things also need to be told clearly in case of the amalgamation, or in case of the second method, that is purchase method of amalgamation, which is very, very